Hello everybody, this is Ender's Diamond, and in this video, I will be explaining what is in the Middle-earth Shadow of War July 17th update, and what my thoughts and opinions are on it. Now, before we begin, I understand this is slightly different than the content I've been usually producing in these last couple of months, but I think this is important, and I'm just trying to extend all reaches and make sure I cover a wide variety of topics. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that is in the update, and probably the biggest thing, is the ability to purchase gold has been gone for a while now, since May 8th, but the market will completely be gone on July 17th with the update, and you will be replaced with something else called the Garrison. And the Garrison has 3 slots. No ability to purchase chests, however the chests you earn from things like online vendettas and online conquests will still be there and show up there. And then next to that is a slot for all the orcs that you have in the garrison. Anything you bring in using training orders, anything you already had, all that stuff will stay. And any chests you already had will stay. Then, to the right of that, you will see an icon that will allow you to view your training orders, any training orders you currently have, and purchase new ones. And that segues into the next thing, which is you can now purchase training orders. Meaning you don't have to hunt opening loot boxes for a specific training order. You can just say, oh, I want to make this guy legendary, here's 20,000 Mirian. Or you can say, oh, I want to give this guy a gang of defenders, here's 500 Mirian, or however much it's going to be. So the next thing that will be included in the July 17th update is the Nazgul masks. Now these will go in the spot of a cloak. I don't know if they are a cloak or if you just attach them to the cloak, but they have something to do with that slot. And you attach them or put them on, and then they give you a bonus. For example, the one they showed off makes you look different, it makes you look like a Nazgul, and it allows you to summon elemental grogs, which is something that is very rare. It's very rare to find an elemental grog outside of a quest. Yeah, it's just pretty rare to find an elemental grog in the world. That segues into the next thing, which is animals have become more powerful. That's a pretty big deal, and it used to be that animals were pretty impractical beyond level 35, but now they are more practical and have become more powerful. There are also improvements to the Shadow Wars. The Shadow Wars were a tedious process in the endgame, and without giving you any spoilers, they unlocked some little pieces of the endgame. So, what I mean by that is that they unlocked some little story elements that connect directly to Token's lore, and it's cool, but it's not much for the amount of effort you had to put into it. So they changed it, and they've made that through the Shadow Wars, you get the Nazgul masks, meaning that as you progress through the stages of the Shadow Wars, you'll get Nazgul masks, meaning story elements. Now the next thing, and I won't specifically spoil this, is Talion talks more. Now you may be like, what, if you haven't really completed the game, but toward the end of the game something happens, and Talion doesn't talk as much. So, they changed that so that Talion talks more, because he pretty much never talked after you had completed Act 4, or sorry, Act 3. So, that's something that is great to see. So the next thing is that there are more legendary orcs. This is a pretty basic one. You know, they're just more legendary orcs, probably because the market's gone and they want legendaries to be somewhat reasonable to get. So there are more legendary orcs. That's a great thing to see. So the next thing is the ability to level up weapons with money. Once you got the best forts around, there wasn't much to do with your Mirian. Like, I have like 150,000 Mirian right now because I have nothing to do with it. I'm just like collecting it. And I need something to do with it. So they're giving us a couple things to do. One, we can buy training orders now, which is great. The other thing we can do now, though, which is significantly more useful than buy training orders, is upgrade our weapons. Let's say you have an epic weapon, and you're like, oh, I want this epic weapon. It's got a trait that is better than any legendary weapon I will ever find. Well, all you have to do is pay some money, and it will upgrade to your level, which is pretty convenient. But that is not the only thing. You can use perfect gems to reroll abilities. For example, let's say you have an ability on an epic thing, the second ability, not the first ability. It'll always be the second ability on an epic or legendary, or the main ability on a rare. Let's say you have it, and you're like, I don't like this ability to apply 14% chance to apply frost with every quick throw. You can spend one perfect gem, meaning the most advanced type of gem, a perfect gem, and re-roll that ability. Now, this will be hard, because you do not have dozens of perfect gems lying around. I have like 5 or 6, maybe 7 perfect gems. Now, a lot of people have a lot more, but that's just an important thing to note. So, After those two things, the next thing that they have been adding is that they have fixed a very important bug. Now, this bug was the fact that sometimes when an orc died, it would just disappear. Now, sometimes when orcs die, they just show up as a dead body. Sometimes they're replaced immediately by another orc. Or, sometimes they go under the ground and you see these little stakes sticking up, and you can't really revive those orcs when they're under the ground. But if an orc disappears, that sucks. And at first I was like, oh, I guess sometimes they just disappeared. No, that's a bug. So they've patched that. They've patched lots of other bugs also, but that's just one of the ones that I thought was worth pointing out. The next thing is the big deal. Level 80 is now the max for you, and level 85 is now the max for other orcs. So you can get another 20 levels, and he said you could actually get your weapons up to level 90 with 2 sword breakers, which is pretty impressive. So, we'll be able to get our swords up to level 90 quite possibly, and we'll be able to get ourselves up to level 80, which is all good news. We'll encounter level 85 orcs. It all changes things quite a bit. So now that we've finished up going over all the stuff that will be included in the July 17th update, I'd like to go over my thoughts and opinions. So I think that most of the stuff that they've added is just good. It's just stuff that will make the game better. Quality of life changes. However, the market. Now, a lot of people have been saying that it's too little too late kind of thing. And I both agree and disagree. For this game, yeah, it's too little too late. However, I'm not thinking in this game. Let's imagine they make another Shadow of War that's called Shadow of War 2, for example, right now. I don't know where they go with it. However, Shadow of War is most likely making them a lot of money, and they'll probably want to create another game. They cannot add microtransactions in. They said we took microtransactions out because we listened to you. They can't be like, oh, we listened to you in the last game, and we heard what you had to say in the last game, but now we think you guys have all changed your opinions on microtransactions. So they are now restricted to only being allowed to make a microtransaction free game, because it's kind of like if your dog escapes, it's like you might as well let the dog run around a lot while the dog is escaped already, but then when the dog comes back, they're on a really short leash, if that kind of makes any sense. It was like Warner Brothers games kind of, they went a bit crazy with the microtransactions in this game, and we let them sort of go a bit crazy with the microtransactions. By let, I mean they were able to. And I think that now they've come back, and now next time they have a really short leash, and they cannot even try and do this. Otherwise, they'll probably have a serious decrease in sales. So those are my opinions and thoughts. Leave yours down in the comments section below. I understand this is a somewhat different video than you guys may be used to. However, leave in the comments section down below what type of video you'd like me to make next. When Assassin's Creed Odyssey comes out, I will be making a video on that as soon as it comes out and I can get it. And I will additionally try and make videos on Red Dead Redemption 2 when that comes out. And of course, Fallout 76 and the Fallout 76 beta. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in a future video. Goodbye, guys.